What's going on, everyone? Let's get comfortable. Okay. We're going to talk a little Major League Baseball opening day. Let me just use my iPad here to, let's move this a little bit closer too. Not too much closer, just a little bit closer. Yeah, I think right there should be good for the audio. And let's open this up real quick, just so I can, makes it a little bit easier to follow the chat on here. There we go. Perfect. All right. Put my phone here. I got to turn my chair a little bit. Right there's perfect. All right, let's see here. D-Ray, what's going on? Colin, what's up? Tony, WH, D-Ray, already said what's up, but what's going on? Caleb, what's going on? Aaron, happy opening day. Even though I guess technically we had opening day last week. This was the real opening day. So we're going to talk some baseball today. I watched the Red Sox game. I watched every pitch, didn't miss a pitch from the Red Sox-Rangers game. Saw a couple of highlights in some other games, started to watch the Dodgers game a little bit, and then had to get the kids ready for bed. Yeah, White Sox. Will Venable, first win as a Major League manager today. Good for him, good for the White Sox. Hey, Meatloaf, what's going on? Yep, so I watched the Red Sox game. I have not been a Red Sox fan. I haven't been a fan of anyone since I started playing professional baseball, but I am getting back into it this year. So I'm cheering for the Red Sox. They were my sleeper pick this year for a World Series. Going to be tough, but I'm going to pull for them. Oh, Mar15 jumping in with a super chat right away. I appreciate that, Mar. Farting on umpires would be funny. Anyone new to the channel, Mar has been with us for quite some time. He super chats every time, and it usually has something to do with farting. Any Will Venable stories that I have for you guys? Well, I'll start off with this. Will's a great guy. We played together. I met Will in my first professional season. He was in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I got drafted and was sent to Eugene, which was short season. And I got called up to Fort Wayne towards the end of the year. Will was my teammate. First thing I noticed with Will was he must have been having a bad game or something. But I just remember I was sitting on the bench. When they called me up, they didn't play me like the first game or so. And I remember he was so pissed. I remember him biting onto his glove and looked like he was trying to tear his glove into two pieces with his mouth pulling this way and his hand pulling that way. And I didn't know him really yet. And I was like, ooh, this guy's intense right there. But he was intense, and he played the game really, really hard. But he was like one of the nicest people ever. So I'll tell you one other Will Venable story. I could tell you a bunch of stories, I guess. But I was struggling in 2008, and we had been teammates at this point. We were teammates in 06. We were teammates in 07. And then in 2008, we were teammates in AAA. So we kind of moved up pretty much together. And so we're playing, and I'm struggling really bad. And Will was trying to, when I did poorly, that was the first time in my life I'd done poorly, I kind of got down in the dumps because I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, I haven't struggled my whole life, and now I'm, one step away from the major leagues, and I'm struggling. And I think I kind of got quiet and just down. Some people get pissed off when they're not doing well. I kind of got quiet and down. And I remember Will was like trying to get me out of it. And he was like, dude, I'm going to paraphrase what he said. So don't quote me on this, but this is basically what he said. He said, when you're up at the plate, he's like, you got to think that there's like a thing of money sitting between the pitcher's mound and home plate. And he's like, either you're going to get the money or the pitcher's going to get the money. And like he was trying to get me pumped up, but maybe also a little bit pissed off. And I thought that was an interesting analogy, or not an analogy, but just a way to put it. I guess might be an analogy. But Will's a great guy. Let's see what else we have here. Well, I'll say this about the Guardians. They seem to they find ways where, like last year, same thing. They've done it for a while. It's like you look at their team and you're like, this team's just okay. And they win. I don't know what they do. They like sprinkle magic fairy dust on the team and they do well. Yeah, so I didn't see the Astros game. I saw they won, but I didn't see it. One thing that I can't do, and I don't know if other people are able to do this, I cannot like bounce between games. So like when I'm watching the Red Sox game, I can't even like miss pitches because then I get all flustered because I spend the whole game watching it like a coach. So I'm like trying to guess. You know, like when the Red Sox are pitching, I'm pitching and I'm like, okay, I would throw this pitch here. Okay, throw this pitch here. Okay, let's throw this pitch. Let's set him up with this pitch. And then when the Red Sox are hitting, I'm like literally like, okay, what's he gonna throw me? I put my mind into like every hitter. So like, you know, when Bregman gets up, I'm like, okay, I want the ball middle in. They're probably gonna start me away. They're gonna throw me away. What am I looking for? What pitch is coming? I just do that the whole game. So I have to watch every pitch. I can't change channels. I can't. If I'm going to run to the bathroom, I have to sprint in between innings. And so I did that for 3 hours today. Well, the game was a little less than 3 hours. I think it was like, I'm not sure, 250 or something like that. But it was a fun game. Not much offense, but Abreu saved the Red Sox. Hey, what's up, John the Beagle Dad? Happy opening day. Yeah, so I saw the Orioles beat the ever-living hell out of the Jays. I saw that Rushman had 2 homers, and did Cedric Mullins have 2 homers as well? I think I saw that. So that was one game. Again, I didn't see any of the games. I just saw highlights, saw scores. Speaking of absolute beatdown, so I'm playing a little Diamond Dynasty right now, and it's the top of the first. My Antonelli baseball team is playing the Braves, and I'm up 6-0. I am destroying baseballs all over the place right now. Let's see here. How much do you take away from spring training team performance? Giants look so good, but yeah, I don't take anything away from spring training, honestly. You know, a lot of the veteran players in spring training, a lot of them are just like working on stuff. You know, some guys are like, I've seen guys do all kinds of crazy things. I've seen guys that don't want to do well in spring training because they think that they're going to waste hits that could be saved for the regular season. I've seen guys go to the plate and be like, I'm swinging first pitch no matter what, even though that's not what they would do in the regular season. There's really not a whole lot of scouting that goes into games. You know, when the season starts, like if you're a pitcher, you're pitching each guy a specific way based on your strengths and their weaknesses. And in spring training, a lot of times, like you're not doing like advanced scouting reports. And if you're a pitcher, you might be like, you know what? Like my curveball has not felt good, so I'm just going to throw a ton of curveballs today. So I really don't take almost anything away from it. I guess what I will take away is like if I see a pitcher, maybe, a young guy trying to make the team, um, I might take away like, oh damn, like this guy is legit. But you also have to remember at the same time that again, the other team isn't really putting together a plan. So let's say you have like a guy that's trying to make the team. Let's just say like Christian Campbell for the Red Sox. Like he's trying to make the team, right? Well, in spring training, they're not having meetings before the game being like, okay, this is how we're going to throw Campbell. This is what he does well. This is what he doesn't do well. This is how we're going to attack him. If he does this, we'll adjust with that. They're not doing any of that stuff. But then when today started, like they had a very specific plan for how they were going to attack him. So not that his spring training at bats didn't mean anything, but now it's going to become we're attacking what we perceive are his weaknesses, and then we'll see how he adjusts to what we're doing, and then we'll adjust to him. And I mean, that's how the season's going to go. So it's just a lot different. Hey, Matt, could you do a video on your thoughts on spring breakout? Yeah, I can do one of those for you. I'll do my best. I got to make some more videos lately. I mean, I've been putting a lot of videos up, but most of them have been breaking down plays and stuff like that. Let's see. Do you keep one foot in the box when you take a leak? Excuse me? I'm going to try to hit a homer right there. That ball was up. Would love for the O's to win that division. I wouldn't. I want the Red Sox to win that division. Tyler O'Neill hit a 6. Yep, he did. 6 straight opening days with a home run. Unbelievable. I didn't see it. I heard about it. They announced it while I was watching the Red Sox game. Obviously, O'Neill was with the Red Sox last year, so they made that announcement during the game. It's crazy. Opening day is so strange. I thought Lou Merloni today during the Red Sox broadcast did a really good job of explaining the feelings of a player during opening day, because I never liked opening day. It's just a weird, it is hard to explain. It feels so different than every other game. Like game 2 feels so much better in my opinion than game 1. And most of my opening days, I feel like I never had a great opening day. Try to think of like a really good opening day that I had. Like at what level did I have a good opening day? I remember my biggest memory of opening day is actually probably my first full professional season for the Lake Elsinore Storm. Opening day, I faced Bartolo Colon. He was doing a rehab start. He was with the Angels. We were playing Rancho Cucamonga, and I had to face Bartolo Colon, and I was the leadoff hitter for us. And Bartolo struck me out to start the season, and he was throwing all fastballs and 2 seam fastballs that felt like they were moving like this much. And then my second at bat, he struck me out again. And I was like, way to start the season off, facing Bartolo Colon as a 20, how old was I? 22? So that's a pretty memorable opening day for me. I hit great that year, but opening day was not great. Thoughts on Altuve playing left field? I love him being a team kind of like Biggio going to the outfield when they signed Kennedy. Gotcha. Yeah, so that's interesting. And maybe if you're an Astros fan, you can explain this to me. So I know he went to left field. Who are they playing at second base right now? I have not watched I didn't follow the Astros at all in spring training. It's a curious move. One thing I did see, I saw in spring training, I saw him struggling a little bit out in left field. At least the few highlights that I saw, he kind of zooed a couple of balls out there. Matt, is the grind of MLB so much harder than the minor leagues? MLB profession seems like such a grind. No, so in my opinion, the minor leagues are a much harder grind than the major leagues for a few reasons. The only thing that the major leagues is more of a grind with is the mental stuff because you know you don't want to do poorly because you don't want to get sent down, and there's more pressure on you because when you're at the major league level, you have to win. You know, much more people are paying attention. Like you're playing on TV, people are able to see you much more. You know, if you don't have good games, you're going to get text messages and stuff about like from friends or family asking like what happened. Oh, we saw you play last night. You know, so there's much more of that. In the minor leagues, like at least when I was playing, no one gave a crap. But other than that, everything in the minor leagues is tougher. So, you know, you've got way worse travel. You know, you're traveling terrible flights and you're flying at 5 or 6 a.m. and you're playing in worse cities and you're staying in worse hotels or you're taking buses that break down and you're not getting paid anything. And so everything is just worse. The stadiums are worse. The food is worse. Everything is worse. In the major leagues, first of all, you get paid a ton of money. So you can do whatever you want. You can eat so well. You're not eating McDonald's. I mean, I guess you could, but you're not. You're staying in Ritz-Carlton hotels. You know, you're playing in big league stadiums with all the amenities that you would want. You've got team chiropractors and you've got, you take care of your body so much more. There's also more off days in the major leagues. So in the minor leagues, like they just grind the crap out of you in the minor leagues. In the major leagues, you get more off days, which really helps with your body. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight. Judge is looking good this year. Well, he looks good every year, I feel like. Yeah, I think he's a candidate to hit 50 to 60 homers every season. The guy's an absolute animal. Have you played in Sacramento in the summer? Thoughts on MLB and minor league parks? I have. I did play. I played against Sacramento. What were they? The River Cats or something? I played against them a bunch. So my biggest, not my biggest memory, one of my favorite things about playing there is that they cooked great food, great post-game food. They used to cook like really good steaks there for us. Their Caesar salad, it's weird the things you remember. Their Caesar salad was amazing. I used to love their Caesar salad. Their clubby would make it all the time for us, but that was like my favorite part. But yeah, as far as being a big league team playing there, like, I mean, I played in a lot of big league stadiums, and that is not anywhere close to a big league stadium. I don't know where like the clubhouse is going to be. Like our clubhouse was in like left field, like past left field. You would be in like a building out there and you have to walk all the way down to the field. I have no idea how they're going to do that. The game of adjustment starts now. You are right, Nathan. You are right. Are you back to full Red Sox fandom? Yeah, so Laura said to me today, when Abreu hit the second homer to go up 5-2, I was pumped. I was screaming at my TV. And Laura came over and she's like, what the hell are you doing? She's like, you're really taking this Red Sox fandom like serious this year. I said, hell yeah, I'm taking it serious. So I placed a small wager on the Red Sox to win the World Series at like 30-1 odds. The second they traded for Bregman, I think I told this story last time. So like when they traded not traded for Bregman when they signed him, but when they traded for Crochet is what I'm trying to say. I was like, okay, Red Sox they might be going for it finally. And then I got my ammo ready. And then the Bregman thing just sent it over the top. Then I was like, okay, they are going. And now the Yankees get some pitching injuries. You never know. Let's see. I was a Bear guy in Cincinnati for a while. Opening day was the best. It is the best. Do you know how many career home runs you had, including minors? I don't, Tony. I had one major league home run. I think I had like 45 or 50 minor league home runs maybe. I hit 21 one season. So that gave me a bunch of them. And then I was hurt so much that it was tough to get many more. I hit like 7 one year, but I missed half the year. And then I hit 7, I think, another year or something, like 5 to 7, but I missed like a lot of I missed so much time. It was hard to put up as many home runs as I should have. But my one season where I played a full season, which was my single A/double A season, I hit 21 home runs that year. MLB grinds so much harder than minors, family and physical wise. No. I stick with my answer that the minor league grind is harder. Family, everything gets easier in the majors because you have way more money. Like, if my wife wants to come see me, if my kids want to come see me when I'm in the major leagues, well, I make a ton of money. I can fly them wherever I want. When you're in the minor leagues, you're making no money. Now, I was a high pick, so I got a big signing bonus. But like most players, that's not the case. So they're not going to have the amount of money to do what they want to do. So, and then what was the other thing you said? Family wise and then physical. Is that what you said? And then physical, yeah, they take care. You're able to take care of your body way better in the major leagues. I did see that the Yankees catcher hit a leadoff home run. Could be the next Kyle Schwarber. I don't know. Schwarber's got a different kind of pop. Guy smashes baseballs. Brendan Rodgers played today? Matt, I heard an indie ball guy got signed to be a bullpen catcher. Is that a real thing? Are they on the roster? No, so bullpen catchers are not on the roster. We actually had a guy that I played with the Padres in Double A little bit, became the bullpen catcher for the Padres. He actually retired. I think they kind of I don't want to say they talked him into retirement, but I think they were probably going to release him, and then he became the bullpen catcher. So when you're the bullpen catcher, you're not like going into games to play. You're just warming up pitchers in the bullpen. But you get paid. You get paid a pretty good amount of money, and you, excuse me, you you live the big league lifestyle as far as like you're with the team, you're staying in team hotels, and typically at the end of the year you get tipped pretty well by the players. So it's not a bad gig. Okay, I've got to I'm doing this little new threads thing here on Diamond Dynasty, and I need a pickup. I need a pitcher here. Hold on one second. I'm just going to get this pitcher real fast, and then I got to get Milner. Let's find him. Let's go to the marketplace. Name. Let's throw his name in there. There we go. Let's see how much his card is. Oh, that's beautiful. $400. We'll buy it. We're just going to buy it now. Put him in there to pitch. He's a 68. That is not very good, but you know what? I need to pitch him. Where is he? Where'd he go? I can't find him. Oh, we got to put his name. Let's answer another question while I look for him. Majors is super first class. You do not even have to carry your own bag. You are right about that. You do not have to carry your own bag. Yeah, you don't have to do much in the major leagues except play. I just bought this guy. What is it talking about that I don't have him? Oh, he's a reliever. I got it. All right, well, We'll put them in the pen. If everyone could like this video, that would be outstanding. Give it a thumbs up. All right, we're going to play another little Diamond Dynasty game while we talk some more baseball. I'm going to play against the Nationals this game. I'm going to knock them out real quick. Does a player like Garrett Cole hang out in the dugout or stay at home and rehab? So, yeah, when you're out for the year like that, typically, I don't want to say every team might be different. I'm not 100% sure. I know that when I broke my wrist, I was on the major league roster when it happened. But I rehabbed at our spring training complex. If you're a major league player like Garrett Cole, he might just rehab in New York. I don't know if he would do that at spring training, or if he would do it with the doctors, with his team doctors or team medical staff in New York. That's a good question. Yeah, Nate, I'd agree with you. I mean, it was a fine park, but major league parks are just obviously a lot different. Hey, White Sox are 1-0. That's all I know, GCN. They got to be happy about that. I know, Joey Gallo. I think that we're going to have to get Jeter a new... We can't call him Gallo anymore unless Jeter's going to pitch this year. I'll be interested to see how that pitching goes for Gallo. He does have a cannon. There's no doubt about that, but... I always thought bullpen catcher would be ideal. Nathan, that there are a lot worse jobs. I agree with you. I mean, hell, I mean, sign me up to be a bullpen catcher right here. I actually was a bullpen catcher in AAA. I'll tell you a quick story. I'm in AAA with the Indians, and I'm not playing great. I'm not really playing a whole lot. I don't know why. Long story. I raked in spring training, but then they just put me on the Phantom DL and really didn't play me at all. But anyways, not that I'm still bitter about that. So we're playing in Louisville, and our catchers were Yan Gomes and Roberto Perez, I believe, that year. And they got called up. I think they both got called up on like the same day as I think what happened. So I get called into the manager's office, and that's never a good sign, especially when you're not playing much. And I was like, oh, shit, I'm getting released. So I go into the manager's office. He's like, hey, sit down for a second. I'm like, oh, here we go. I've been released like 4 times at this point in my career. So this is kind of how it happens. And he was like, have you ever caught before? And I was like, oh my God. Like, I was not expecting that. And I did. I caught when I was like 12. And I mean, when I say I caught, I mean like I caught like 1 or 2 games because we probably had a pitcher throwing pretty fast, and my dad was probably like, get back there and catch him. So he's like, have you caught before? And I wasn't lying. I was like, yeah, I've caught before. I didn't tell him I was 12. And he was like, all right. He's like, our catchers got called up tonight, so you're the backup catcher. And I was like, sounds good. Give me some gear, and I'm ready to go. So I was the backup catcher. If the catcher got hurt that day, I was going into a AAA game and catching 95-mile-an-hour fastballs for the first time since I was basically 12 years old. And luckily, nobody got hurt, but I had to warm up the pitchers before the game. I had to warm up in the bullpen the whole game. If our catcher was hitting and was the last out, I had to run out and get the pitcher warm in between innings. That was fun. I was actually nervous throwing the ball back to the pitcher. I didn't want to look like an idiot and like overthrow him or anything. But that was fun. Yeah, so Devers being the DH, he had a rough day today, I'll say that. I mean, he struck out the first 3 at-bats all on curveballs, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. And then the fourth at bat, he rolled over to the first baseman. He swung and missed a ton today. So it'll be interesting how that all plays out. Obviously, I think that you got to play Bregman at third. If it's between Bregman and Devers, Bregman's the better third baseman. So, and then when it comes to Devers, it's like we want to make sure that we don't mess up his offense, because that's why he's so valuable. And DHing is tough. Like, I've had the DH plenty of times during my career. Usually in the minor leagues, they would use the DH spot as almost a way to like give you a little bit of a break, but also keep your bat in the lineup. And I used to like it because it does give your body a little bit of a break. You don't have to, you can take it easy on your arm that day. You're not going to be out in the field. With that being said, it is totally different to be a DH than when you're actually hitting as a position player. And it's hard to explain, but I always felt like my eyes were never as locked in when I DH'd versus when I was in the field. And I don't know why that is, and I felt the same way when I used to not start and would pinch hit. I felt like my eyes weren't like locked into the game. I felt like I didn't see the ball as well. When I was playing the field and hitting, like every pitch, you are completely locked in. And so I just felt like I saw the ball better. When I DH'd, you're doing literally nothing except for those few minutes that you're hitting each game. And I just had a difficult time seeing the ball as well. So I never liked DHing except for the fact that it gave my body a little bit of a rest. And it's too small of a sample size. Like, I know some people might be like, see, bad move making Devers a DH, can't hit as a DH. I think you just got to be careful because it is such a small sample size. It's one day. So, maybe he just wasn't seeing the ball well today. Maybe it's just a bad day. We'll see how he comes back next game. So I have not got into golfing because I have, you guys can't see it, but I had 3 wrist surgeries on my left wrist. One of the reasons I said earlier how I missed so many games, a lot of it was due to my wrist. And so I can't really golf because it really hurts my wrist. So I'll go to the driving range every now and then, but even then, I'll take a shot and I'll get a stinging pain, and then the next day it usually hurts. And so in order for me to play golf, I'd need to practice a lot because I'd have to be good at it. There's no way I could spend my time out on the golf course if I sucked. And in order to get good, I got to golf a lot, and I just can't do it because my wrist would feel like it's going to fall off. So to answer your question in a very long-winded way, which I just did, the short answer is no, I have not got into golfing. I'd like to. I wish I could. Golf also takes up a lot of time, and I'm really busy. I usually don't take any days off. I work pretty much 7 days a week just because I run my own business and stuff, and there's always something going on that I got to do. So I'm sure I could find time to golf, but again, if you want to be really good at it, I'd want to be golfing all the time, and I don't have that much time. I feel like the White Sox are the first team ever to be guaranteed an improvement from the year before. Well, yes, they did have quite a bad year last year, so one would think they shall improve this season. Let's hope so. If they don't, that would be a really rough season. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the mighty Yan Gomes. I had a chance to play with Yan for that season until he got called up. Great guy. I might be making this up, but he might be the first Brazilian to ever play in the major leagues. You guys can look that up and tell me if anyone has a computer near them and wants to look that up. I feel like he told me that he was the first Brazilian to play Major League Baseball. I could totally be lying right now. But we were eating at a P.F. Chang's one night, and I'm pretty sure that he told me that. So if anyone wants to fact check that, let me know. Terry Francona. He could lead the Reds to the playoffs. So when I was with the Indians, Francona was the manager of the team. I got sent to AAA. I only played a few major league games in spring training with him. I mean, I was on the bench a lot, but I only got into a little bit. But I was around him enough to know that he's a pretty cool dude. Like, I could see how players really, really enjoy playing for him. Always upbeat, a lot of energy. Nathan, as a former Little League catcher, A+. Yeah, Angels, they just can't figure it out. Yeah, and then the Rays playing in the Yankees spring training complex. That'll be interesting. I actually have never played in that spring training complex. So when I was with the Orioles, I was in big league camp, and we went and played the Yankees, but I didn't dress that day. So in spring training, you don't dress for like every game. And so they did not dress me that day. Let's see. Benjamin said, "Hey, Matt, I'm trying to start my own baseball program called the Plymouth Harbormen. Do you have any advice?" Well, that's a good question. I'm trying to think back to when we started our program. So I started the program like 11 years ago. And the only thing I did, so we started pretty small. We started with 3 teams, which actually was kind of a struggle even to do 3 teams. But we started small. And, my only goal was not to rush to try to get big. I wanted to make sure we did a really good job with the teams that we had. My main goal was just revolved around player development and trying to make the players better. I wasn't trying to build at the time like a huge business or anything. I literally just said, we've got 3 teams, which is like less than, it was probably like 40 kids. And I was also coaching college at the time as well. But, that was it. I just said, if I took a lot of things. I was lucky, and when I was younger, I played for a travel baseball program. I played for a couple of programs. I played for Lightning Baseball, which in our area was like probably the best program around. And then I got a chance to play for a team called the Ohio Warhawks when I got older in high school. And they were just like great programs. And so I just thought about like trying to do things similar to what they did, although travel ball is a lot different now than it was back then. And but that was really it. Just center around the players, being kind of like players first. And when I say that, I don't mean like let the players like run stuff and do whatever the hell they want, but just try to make it about the players and getting them as good as you possibly can. Good luck to you, though. I wish you well. Let's see here. Start with mini golf. Yeah, so I have done some mini golfing. Last time I went mini golfing, I actually played really well, but my son, like, he was getting he'll say it wasn't luck. He'll say that it was skill, but he had like 3 or 4 hole-in-ones. Played the best he ever had. I'm pretty sure I still beat him though. I actually think that Laura was keeping score, and I think that she stopped keeping score the last few holes because she had like a bad hole, like I don't know, hole 14 or 15, and she quit on us. Stopped keeping score. But I'll say I won. Okay, so Wikipedia says Jan is Brazilian, but no comment on if he's a first MLB player. So I have to be right then, because I don't have to be right. I just made that up. But like I said, I'm like 100% sure that he told me he was the first player. All right, we're gonna play. I'm gonna play one more game, and then I'll probably go watch. Probably go watch a show or something with my wife. So my daughter today at school, unfortunately, we got a call that she got knocked over. Some kids were playing like football or something. She got knocked over and went to catch her fall and hurt her wrist really bad. So she's been taking care of her today. Hopefully, it doesn't seem like it's broken or anything. I think she just really sprained it, but Laura was laying down with her, and then we'll probably watch some TV. No problem, Ben. Anything else for any of you that watched a bunch of the Major League games today? If you see our channel, you know that I usually try to break down like interesting plays, crazy plays. Did anyone see anything today worthwhile that I should break down tomorrow? If you did, just let me know in the comment section below. It's got to be like pretty worthwhile, though. It can't be just like, a home run or something. Like something kind of interesting, something you don't see every day. I actually, when I was watching the Dodgers game for a few minutes before I brought the kids upstairs, and it was first and third, one out, like a number hit in front of the catcher. Torkelson was on third. They had the contact play on, and he tried to score. Will Smith picked it up. Blake Snell yelled. Torkelson stopped running like 3/4 away. Blake Snell yelled to get him. They ended up getting him out. I was going to make a video on that. I might make one tomorrow on just the contact play and how that works, and then reading that little nubber in front of the plate. But I know, Nathan. I used to have. That's what I said to my daughter today when she. So I wanted to she was like so scared. So the thing is, she broke her arm this past summer. She was on the swings and she tried to we don't know what she did because we didn't see it. I was actually on a flight to Georgia and, oh wait, I'm going to try to score him here. Oh, I'm going to get thrown out by a mile. I'm hosed. Oh my God, I'm out by a mile. I was on a flight to Georgia and I got a call from my wife and she's like, your daughter just broke her arm. And she literally broke it in half. Right here, where just above the elbow, the bone completely snapped. So she was on the swings. My wife was at my son's game. My daughter was on the swings far away. And she just came over and sat down on my wife, not crying, not saying a word. She had mulch all over her. And Laura's like, what happened to you? Why are you disgusting? She didn't say anything. And Laura went to she was sitting down and she was kind of starting to act a little bit weird. And Mia, my daughter, said, I can't lift my arm. And my wife was like, what do you mean you can't lift your arm? She's like, I can't lift my arm. And she's like, that's not funny. What happened? Did you get stung? Did you, what happened? And she went to take her shirt off and she was ripping her shirt off, not knowing that she just broke her arm in half. And when she took her shirt off, my daughter's arm was swollen, huge. And Laura was like, oh my God, something's wrong, and rushed her to the hospital. And she snapped her arm completely in half and didn't cry at all. The doctors even said, I don't know if she was in so much shock. The doctors said they've never seen someone break their arm in half like that and not shed a single tear. And the interesting thing is, I've always said about my daughter that she doesn't feel pain. When she was younger, she would do stuff, crazy stuff, where she'd smash into something or like get whacked by a ball, or my son would swing a bat and like smash her, and like she's always acted like she doesn't feel pain. I'll tell you one more quick story. This will be super fast. I'm driving home one day from baseball. I get a call from my wife screaming, "There's blood everywhere. Oh my God. Call 911. Ah." Click, hangs up. That was the phone call I got as I'm driving home. So I freaked out. I called 911. No clue what happened. I called 911. They answered. I started screaming. My wife just called. She said there's blood everywhere. She screamed to call 911. Please get to my house. I gave them my address. I'm like driving 150 miles an hour down the highway to get home. All of a sudden, the person on 911 says, "Hold on one second, sir." They disappear. They come back. They're like, "We have your wife on the other line right now. We're going to take her." They're like, "Just go ahead and get home." I get home. There's freaking ambulances, police cars, everything in front of my house. Looks like a murder scene. I'm like, I have no clue. All I know is I was told there was blood everywhere and to call 911. And so I run in, and my daughter, who's like, I don't know, not even, maybe 2 at the time, not even 2, 1. Yeah, she's probably 1. She's sitting down with a bunch of people all around her, police officers, freaking paramedics, everybody around her. We got firefighters in the house. She's sitting on the floor, and they are picking glass out of her. She has shards of glass like all in her. She was climbing something, tipped it over, a vase smashed. She fell on top of the vase. All the glass went all into her. She was not crying one bit. There was blood all over the place. Never cried. I've never seen it before. Picking glass out of the girl, and she's just sitting there. So I don't know what's up with her pain threshold. It's like unbelievable. But anyways, long story. Crazy. So I'm hoping she didn't break her wrist, because it's hard to tell with her because she doesn't cry. But it looked a little swollen, but I don't think it's broken, in my professional opinion. She should get into UFC boxing. She might. In the Yankees game, Rodon was late to get over to first, missed the bag, and fell over. But there's the Yankees pitchers. They're always slow to first base. Yep. I made a few videos about that last year. I'll have to check that out. I'll find that and see what happened. Do a little breakdown. I just realized I'm in the second inning here against the Cardinals, and I have not, while I was telling that story, I was playing the game, but I was not paying attention at all. I don't even know how we got here. You ever been driving in your car and you get someplace and you're like, how did I get here? That's what just happened to me. Oh, Big Mac ripping a ball left. All right, if everyone give the video a thumbs up again, that would be awesome if you could like it. What games are going on right now? What Major League games are being played? I'm playing a video game, so I do not have my TV on. What do we got, 10:15? Did anyone here watch the Red Sox game at all today? Crochet's got some nasty stuff. I know that much. His command was a little bit off today. Did not have pinpoint control. Walked a few guys. Wasn't exactly putting the ball where he wanted to, but his stuff is so good that he can he doesn't really need that. Like, if he has pinpoint command, then he's probably going to throw a shutout or give up like 1 run. And then when he doesn't have pinpoint command, it's still hard to hit. Like, he threw some balls over the middle of the plate, but he's throwing 97 and he's 6'6", and then he's got the cutter that guys are just like swinging and missing at. And then if you're a lefty, like having to try to hit his sweeper is like damn near impossible. So he's just nasty. We got the Cubs, D-backs. We got the A's, Mariners. Sacramento versus Mariners. I'll probably get up, I'll probably get up tomorrow and I'll probably go through all the games and try to find something, a couple things to talk about, make a few videos on it. Uh-oh, I got to step my game up right now. They're starting to rake me a little bit here. You know, now that I'm not coaching high school this year, the good thing is about that is I can get into Major League Baseball a little bit more. It's always so hard to get into Major League Baseball because once high school season starts, I'm so preoccupied with my high school team and with like my baseball teams. I just can't follow as many games. I was thinking about that today when I was watching the Red Sox at 4 o'clock. You know, for the last 11 years, I've been coaching something. So everyone today was at high school games or practices at usually 3 o'clock is when they start. And I would be there too, but this year I wasn't. So what was I doing instead? I was watching Red Sox. First time I've done that in like 11 years. It was kind of cool. So I feel like I'm going to be in touch with Major League Baseball much more this year than I have in the past. Well, since I played, really. And when I played, you know, I wasn't paying attention to any of the other teams. I'm really only paying attention to my team and what I'm doing. And then you know who was nasty today was Evaldi. He was like, I mean, he had like pinpoint control. He was striking out everybody. But that dude can play. Well, thank you, Nathan. What makes you say that I have a unique perspective? What the hell was that? I'm facing Helsley right now, and he throws very strange in this game. I got to lock in here, though. First and second, nobody out. I'm tagging. Oh, that's great base running right there. Fly ball to left field, but the left fielder was moving away from the bag, and I tagged up from second base, moved over. Now I got first and third. Oh, you know what I really want to do right here? I would like to pinch run at first. I think I have some speed on the bench here. Let's see. Who's at first base? What's his steal? He's got an 80 speed. I got a 95 speed on the bench. You know what? I'm just going to give him the steal right there. He's got an 80 speed. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's going. Stay out of the double play. There we go. That was an easy stolen base. I am feeling optimistic about the Sox this year. I think having Crochet as like an ace of the staff is awesome. They've got a couple of... Oh, no. Oh, my. So they went infield in. I grounded out to third. They threw it to first, and the first baseman dropped it. So I do think the Sox will do well this year. I like having the ace in Crochet. I think that was obviously a huge pickup. I like the Walker Buehler pickup as well. They've got a couple of injuries to the pitching staff right now, so hopefully those guys are okay. Offensively, I like the offense. You know, you go Duran leading off. That guy can hit. You get Devers second. Obviously, he can rake. You got Bregman, professional hitter, hitting third for you. And then You got Cassis hitting fourth, who has a lot of potential and could be a big power guy. Was hurt a lot last year. And then, who did they go fifth? Trevor Story today? I'm trying to remember. I think they went, did they go Story fifth? Which, I get another guy that's hurt all the time. They went Campbell's sixth, I think. Which you could tell that he was swinging at some bad pitches today. He's usually really good at controlling the strike zone in the minor leagues at least, but he struck out in his first at bat, and then second at bat, he swung at a splitter that was literally almost going to hit him. And then walked in his third at bat, and then in his fourth at bat, he hit a ground ball to third. It was actually a huge play. Josh Young stepped up to pick the short hop and just missed it. And they gave Campbell a hit. I thought it was an error. But it was a huge play because then Abreu was hitting seventh, and he went deep to take the 5-2 lead. He had the 2 homers on the day. And then they got Wong hitting 8, who's not a bad hitter. And then they got Rafaela hitting 9th, who, he's a great defender. Could be one of the best defenders in the league in center. And he's got ability offensively. He just chases a little bit too much. But maybe as he gets more experience, he won't chase as much and put together better at-bats. So I like the lineup. And you got Hamilton off the bench, who played last year and was, a really good defender and can run and is not a bad player. So anyways, and then you got, I don't know, is Roman Anthony ever going to be ready to go this year? He could. I don't know where he would play, but I like the fact that you've got some guys in the minors that potentially could be absolute studs. And then the bullpen, you get Chapman. The bullpen, I guess, would be what you would say would be the question of the team. But they threw damn well today. I know that much. Let's see. I got my son a blast sensor for Christmas. I'd helped him. Oh, it's helped him create a better swing. Do you have any suggestions for things to focus on data-wise? Bat speed, hand speed, attack angle. Yeah, so... Oh, they called a pitch clock violation on me because I was answering that question. No, good. Give him a free strike. So, yeah, we use Blast. My son used it. We use it with our players. The biggest things that we focus on, bat speed is one of the biggest ones, and attack angle. Those are the 2 biggest ones and probably the easiest ones. When I'm judging hitters or when we're working with hitters, the things we're working on, bat speed is one of the core things we're working on. We're working on bat path or bat the ball skills. You can call it either one. They kind of blend together a little bit. And then the last thing is just swing decisions. So, what pitches you're swinging at, which pitches you're taking. Blast can really help measure. Oh, I just drilled the guy in the shoulder. Sorry about that, dude. Dude, what are you looking at? Guy's staring me down. It's 5-0, man. I'm just trying to win this game. So Blast can really help with bat speed, obviously, with reading that. And then as far as our bat path and bat the ball skills, it helps read that. So I think those are the 2 biggest things that we use it for. If you want to get real technical, you can with it. But those are the 2 that I focus on. Let's see. Oh, I appreciate that, Nathan. Yeah, being able to play I guess it does give me a unique perspective. Although I played a long time ago. Things are, in some ways, I guess things are a lot different, but in some ways it's still the same. Does it affect the players with, let's see, so the Twins are up for sale and the Rays owner, or the MLB wants the Rays owner to sell the team. Does it affect the players? I really don't know. I haven't been in that situation. I'll say this: I never met the owner of the Padres when I played for the Padres, and I really never thought about the owner of the Padres. I mean, I was so busy just worrying about myself and trying to like do the best I could to help the team, that I wasn't really concerned with any of the other stuff going on. So I would say that probably most players are in that same boat where they're just really focusing on doing the best, doing the best that they can do. And they're probably not worried about owners or selling the team or any of that stuff. I mean, maybe if you're, well, yeah. So I guess that's my thoughts. I could be totally wrong on that though. Like I wasn't in the big league. I wasn't in the big leagues probably long enough for that to even matter to me. If you're someone that is a veteran player, someone that has a longer contract, but I still don't even know why that would really matter anyway. So MLB may go on strike or lockout after the 26th season. What did the players rep tell the players? Do all players agree with the strike? What do lower paid players think versus? Okay, so I will say this. Every single spring training, the MLB Players Union would come in and would talk to the players. Now, I was young, didn't know much about anything. So I didn't think about like business or any of that stuff. I just played baseball. The veteran guys, the older guys, they think a little bit more about that stuff. But I remember, and I don't know what year it was, but I remember they came in and talked to us, and like they were, I just remember sitting there being like, wow, like players union does not like the owners. Like it was like a rah-rah speech, like they're gonna want us to do this and that, and we're not doing it, and we're getting this, and we're doing, and like it was like a pretty fiery speech. And I don't remember the exact topics we were discussing because again, I was sitting there and I was like, I'm probably gonna be in the minor leagues this year anyway, guys. So does this stuff even matter to me? But I do remember being like, geez, like this is heated. I didn't know that kind of stuff happened. So yeah, it was interesting. And again, I don't remember the details. It was so long ago. And again, I was so confused with what anyone was talking about. All right, I got to change my. I'm going to play one more game. I got to go to my pitching staff here. I need to put in Jesus Luzardo. I need to get some points with this guy right here. So we're going to play the Red Sox this game, actually. Let's do a little conquest. And let's battle the Red Sox, shall we? Yep. Chapman's on the Red Sox this year, so Jansen left, and they picked up Chapman. He threw well today. Threw one inning. Came in the 8th. Yeah, it's a good question. If the MLB closed or went on strike, would the lower paid players start saving money? What would happen to the fans? I don't know. I mean, there's been strikes before, and the fans got pissed and kind of disappeared. I'm trying to think back to other times when that happened. And I was young the last time there was like a significant strike. But I think fans get pretty pissed off when, owners and players can't come together on a deal, and now the fans don't get baseball because owners and players are arguing. And I know fans are usually like, these are like billionaires and millionaires fighting over money. So it can be pretty frustrating for the fans. As far as like the players, and the lower paid players having to save money and stuff, like, I mean, if you're a major league player, even if you're not a high level, I mean, major league minimum salary is still a ton. Oh, I just went deep right there. Yeah, there are not, Nathan, that's a good point. If you took every player that ever played in the big leagues and put them in one ballpark, they wouldn't sell out Progressive Field. So yeah, there's not a lot of players that have played in the major leagues. But the most interesting thing is I'll get two things from people. I'll get either like, you played in the major leagues, so I'm going to listen to every word you have to say because you played in the major leagues. And then I'll also get the total opposite end of the spectrum, and people will say, you suck. Like, your numbers were so bad in the major leagues. You stink. Why would I ever listen to you? You hit 200. So I get both ends of it. And I don't think either is right. I don't think people should listen to me just because I played in the major leagues. And I also don't think people shouldn't listen to me because I didn't hit well in the major leagues, because there are very few people in the world that play in the major leagues. And now my dog is down here. Don't know why she's down here. Oh, now she left. You too, John the Beagle Dad. Yeah, bullpens can definitely be volatile. It's weird. You see a lot of guys from the bullpen, like guys come out of nowhere. You're like, who the hell is this guy? Guy has a great year. Sometimes you'll have, oh, that's a fair ball? What? Throw him out. They just hit a ball right down the third base line. I thought that was foul. And sometimes you'll have a guy that had a great year out of the bullpen and he's just horrific the next year. I mean, usually like the studs, the big time relievers, typically pretty consistent, although we've seen some big time guys have off years. Like we saw Edwin Diaz have that really, really tough year when, he was a stud. We saw, Josh Hader had like a little bit of a rough year. I think he had like some command issues that year. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Chapman. I hope he lasts the whole season. So less than 21,000 players have played one game in the majors. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I feel like the studs are the studs, and then it falls off a cliff. So, yeah, I think that one of the most impressive things to me has always been the players that can consistently play well year after year after year, because the major leagues is so hard. The way I explain it is this: like, when I played for pretty much my whole life, I was almost always, I would say one of the best players. So like, obviously in order to get drafted, like I got drafted 17th overall. So you got to be one of the best players in the country. And then I became a top prospect for the Padres and played really well and, worked my way up to the major leagues. So you go from always kind of being considered like one of the best players, and I got to the major leagues, and then it's like, when I got there, I was like, wow, like the best players in the major leagues are on a completely different level. It's amazing actually to watch him play. Like I'd watch Adrian Gonzalez hit, and I'd be like, this dude is like, this is crazy. But that's what a guy looks like that hits 300 consistently in the big leagues. Like they're just on like a different level. And the pitchers that just consistently do well are just, they're amazing. And, the saying is usually like, it's not hard to get to the big leagues, it's hard to stick there. No, it's extremely hard to get there. But when you're talking about getting there versus sticking there is like the crazy, crazy thing. Like being able to play year in and year out with pitchers and teams that are constantly trying to find your weakness and figure out how do they get you out. And when you're so good that they can't find your weakness, or if they do find your weakness, you're able to then adjust. Oh, Bregman, speaking of guys that are consistent, he just hit a rocket down the right field line for a triple against me. Bregman's numbers are crazy. I looked at his stats. He hits like within, I'm pretty sure he hits within like 3 points of his batting average every single season. It's crazy. Yes, and injuries can change that. That is one thing. I noticed that with myself. Like once I got injured for the first time in 2008, once you start getting injured, it gets really tough because you can't practice as much and you start missing, you miss development time, and then your body just doesn't work as well. Yeah, like a guy, you mentioned Mariano Rivera, like to be so good that basically when you come in, it's like game over. Like that is just, it's quite crazy. And for hitters, like guys that consistently hit 300 and consistently hit 30 plus homers, like those guys are just, because sometimes when you're hitting, it feels like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get another hit. I'm talking about when you're in the major leagues. I never faced Mariano Rivera now. That would have been, I was going to say it would have been a fun at bat. It would have probably been a miserable at bat, but it would have been fun to face him. Oh my, I am getting tattooed right now. I got to get this guy out of the game. Trying to think of some of the closers that I faced. The best closers, like Jonathan Broxton was a really good closer for the Dodgers, threw like 100, which back then like was one of the few guys that did that. All right, guys, I got to get Luzardo out of the game. He stinks right now. They have back-to-back hits. I'm putting in Devin Williams. Who else were close? Oh, Jonathan Papelbon. I faced him. Who were the other really good closers back then? I had Trevor Hoffman on my team, so... Oh, they just brought Chapman in to face me. Actually, I played against Chapman, but I was on the bench the day he pitched against us, so I never had to face him. And that was back when he was throwing like 104 every pitch. There's not many pitchers that I face where like I can vividly remember the day that he pitched where everybody was like, if you weren't hitting, you were on the top step of the dugout. And every pitch he threw, you were like, oh my God, like this is different. I don't think who the other closers were. I usually got pulled out of the game by the time the ninth inning rolled around, so I guess I didn't get to face a whole lot of closers. They'd give me like 3 at bats, and they'd be like, "Okay, you're done. Sit in the bench." Oh, I just rolled over into a double play. Brian Wilson with the Giants. That's right. Let's see. Matt, with the Pats being the top spender in free agency, we'd be disappointed if they do not make the playoffs. So I think the Patriots, I don't want to say I'd be disappointed, but yeah, I think that they can make the playoffs. I'll tell you what I think real quick. We'll talk football for a minute. What I really want to happen is I really want Travis Hunter to last a 4. I want to take Travis Hunter. Then I want us to sign a veteran left tackle from a team that maybe has a veteran that he doesn't have to be a stud. He just needs to be a starting NFL left tackle. From a team that probably isn't in contention. Kind of like the Patriots did it with Trent Brown a while back. It was on draft day, actually. We traded for Trent Brown. Oh my God, I just got a routine ground ball to Paredes at third base, and it just went right between his legs. That was a routine ground ball to end the game, and he booted it. So that's what I would like. And now I think at that point, you've got Diggs. Hopefully he's healthy. You've got Travis Hunter. I don't know. You play him at wideout, maybe a little at corner. That would be fun. You short up your offensive line. I like the defense. I think you've got a chance to make the playoffs. And that's all I really want. I think, like I got spoiled with the Patriots for a long time where it was like, we basically knew we were making the playoffs, and we had a pretty good feeling we were going to the Super Bowl every year, and it kind of take it for granted. And now the last bunch of years have been horrific. But really, all I think all most people want is like have their team be in it, make every game exciting to where they all matter because we could make the playoffs. Right? Like when your team's out of the playoff race halfway through the year, like that makes for a really shitty season as a fan. All right, let's see. I'm going to answer another question or so, and then I am going to go see what Laura is doing. Kyle Farnsworth. I've never faced him, no. But he was a large man. He was a large human. Big, strong guy. Don't want to mess with that guy. Let's see. Yeah, Bengals fan. Well, you almost won one. I don't want to rub it in, but that year you guys lost to the Rams. I actually bet the Rams in like March before about a year before the Super Bowl. I bet the Rams to win the Super Bowl, so I was cheering pretty hard for them to win it. And they do need a defense and maybe a little bit of offensive line help as well so that Burrow doesn't get killed. But it is nice when you've got Higgins and Chase to throw to. I really wanted Higgins. Like, that's who I wanted. I was hoping the Bengals decided that they just couldn't pay both receivers. And what I envisioned happen for the Pats was instead of having Diggs, I'm talking about like 3 months ago, I envisioned Higgins and then taking Hunter and having Higgins and Hunter as our wideouts of the future. That was my original game plan, but Bengals weren't going to let him go. So. Anyways, everybody, I appreciate everyone hanging out tonight. I am going to go upstairs and probably lay down, watch a little bit of TV, go to sleep. Got a lot of stuff I have to do tomorrow. Going to make some videos. Got a lot of office work to do. And then we've got games this weekend for Antonelli Baseball. So that's all I got. I appreciate everyone hanging out. And I hope you have a great night. Happy opening day. Good luck to all your teams. And we'll talk again soon. Good night, everybody.